I'm taking you behind the scenes step by step as I plan and start a bathroom makeover. What's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different. Instead of working on my own home, I'm going to be at my sister-in-law's rental and working on one of her spaces. She rents here in San Diego with her family in a craftsman-style home that's probably from the 40s or something, and it's got a lot of really great character, fixtures, and features. But it also has its fair share of landlord specials, especially in the guest bathroom. We've always talked about giving it a really fun renter-friendly makeover, but as it's her daughter and husband's primary bathroom, it's just been honestly really hard to find the time. So while they are out of town for the next few weeks on vacation, I will be making it over with you guys, and the final reveal will be a total surprise to them. So let's get started. Let me show you what it looks like. So step number one is to just get a visual idea of the space. I know that if you're living in a bathroom day to day, you probably feel like you know exactly what it feels like to be in there and what you would change, but taking photo and video just puts that space in the 2D world, and it kind of just completely changes your perspective. You can easily take these photos and videos on your phone so that when you're at the store and you see a shower curtain you like, you can kind of put it up next to each other to see if it's actually going to work out. So this space is absolutely visible from the living and dining room, and mainly their guests are using it, but it is also their daughter's primary bathroom, and her husband keeps a lot of his toiletries in there. And in addition to that, she uses it for the bathtub from time to time. So as you can imagine, they're dealing with a lot of storage issues, especially because it's an older home and everything is just a little bit smaller than usual. They have also expressed frustration that this random archway to the left of the bathtub feels like wasted space and doesn't really seem to have a purpose other than being the main bathroom light. Usually the sconces are the main light for a bathroom, but the light switch for those is on the outside wall of the bathroom, and most of their guests don't know that, so they just click the archway light switch after closing the bathroom door, and it barely gives off any light. It almost seems like the arch used to be a shower back in the day, and then they combined the shower with the bathtub to the right, and now there's this empty space that just kind of has no point. So naturally, it just feels like this arch needs a purpose, and the light really needs to be updated. I also think this would be the perfect space to add more storage. There's just so many spaces in this bathroom that could be updated to just give them a lot more functionality, personality, and style with just the simple addition of some texture and color. So now that we've dealt with step one and we have a really good idea of what we're starting with in the bathroom, we're going to move on to step two, which is just creating a list of everything that we might need. I personally want to change everything in this bathroom, from the sconces to the light in the archway to just the little trash can next to the toilet. I would add new bath mat and shower curtain. I would also add maybe some paint and wallpaper, and definitely some decor and greenery. However, I am trying to do this on a massive budget and spend no more than $500, so I'm going to have to be really thrifty about my choices. So step three is to create a really definitive idea about what you want this space to look like when it's completed. So if I have that clear idea, then I can move backwards and make decisions on what's really worth spending money on. So this is when I usually start casually looking through Facebook Marketplace to try to find some inspiration on the cheap. So I'm looking for anything that I haven't maybe thought of yet and just seeing what's out there, honestly. I really like buying most things secondhand, and unfortunately for a bathroom, a lot of it does have to be new just for sanitary reasons. However, furniture and lighting can be absolutely something that you can find at an estate sale or Facebook Marketplace. So I really do need to add some of that to my collection at the moment, because we're basically starting from zero here in terms of decor. And when I was looking, I actually saw this little cabinet thing for $20, and I thought it could be a great piece of storage for that archway just to give it some purpose. So I'm gonna go pick up that piece in about an hour. So I have some time to show you my preliminary Pinterest board. It's kind of all over the place, but I think there's like a general theme going on, and we'll kind of finalize it with a mood board, especially after we go to the shops and pick some things out. But I really want to kind of add some warmth into this bathroom. That's kind of the vibe. And I've been making this casually for months now, ever since we even talked about making over this bathroom. So I've got a lot of pendant lights and sconces and kind of have this like Japandi minimal vibe. I think having a pendant light in the archway would be making it a little bit more of an intentional space. So something like this would be kind of fun, especially with this like globe underneath here. And then the piece I'm picking up on Facebook Marketplace is intended to be storage for that archway. It might be too tall for a pendant light, but I think if anything, it'll fit, you know, width-wise, and it'll add some extra storage in there. I want it to feel organic and just overall like warm colors and like a warm wood tone. I know that she kind of prefers like a lighter wood tone than something more walnut or teak. So I think that's kind of something to take in consideration. I don't know how much wood we can really bring in there, but hopefully we can figure something out. And then I really like having earthy tones in there. So I know that her favorite color is yellow, and I really think that's a good complementary color to blue. And the blue is on her tiles. She's got this like really cool, interesting penny tile that's white and this like fun blue border. So I think really playing on that and kind of emphasizing it would make it really fun. I saw this and I love having like the blue border, and I thought maybe painting the inside of her window would be super cool. And trying to add in some kind of like sparse greenery would give it that minimal Japandi vibe. I don't know if I really want to do any kind of like cafe curtains or something, because I don't want to limit the light, but I think it's just an option to add texture, and you know, maybe it could be super sheer. I've always wanted one of these curtains, especially here in the office on this window right here, just like covering up half of it. It's a cool design piece, but beyond that, I think if I was to go the yellow route, I was really responding to this blue-yellow combo, and I think the idea of having like a yellow ceiling but like bright white walls would brighten it up so much without having to have that sunlight come in or even have the lights on. But I know that having like a pop of orange in there or something would be interesting to her too, because she kind of likes that trend of like the pop of neon. So I think she kind of wants to have like that modern kind of trendy slant to it versus it just being kind of like cozy and zen and warm. You know, she does want this like cool vibe to it. So we're gonna have to try to accomplish that somehow. And yeah, so I'm gonna get ready to go pick up that piece of furniture, and then we'll head out to the stores. I want to check out Home Depot first, probably, because I want to pick out maybe some paint swatches, and then we can check out stores like, you know, IKEA and Target and the Container Store for organization. And then I think I'm gonna take pictures of everything and dump it into a mood board, and we'll decide on what we want. Okay, so we just loaded this piece in, and I was actually really surprised by it, but I think it's gonna work. I was thinking it might be either too big or too basic, but I think with a couple DIYs, it might be really interesting, and it'll totally fit that space and be a really great piece of storage. And one of the knobs on the cabinet actually matches all of the knobs in the bathroom currently, so maybe I can find a match for that if I use the bottom drawer. But I think this was a great win for 20 bucks, and if we don't end up liking it, we can just resell it for 20 bucks. So I think this was great, and I can't wait to see what it looks like in there. Okay, I just showed up to Home Depot because I just want to look at some paint swatches and also see what they have in terms of lighting. I think Home Depot is always a good place to start functionally, and then we can head over to a store like Target or something to get more design focused. I think it would be nice to have like a little lamp in there, just to have some like more lamp lighting than ceiling light. But I don't think any of these are interesting. This is kind of cute, but definitely not her style. Something like this, I feel like would be her style, but for $129, I don't think that's worth it at all. Not really finding anything in terms of pendant lights or sconces here. There was one or two maybe flush mounts that would work, but I'm gonna keep looking. also don't like towel bars, but I think hooks are kind of interesting. Not that this is interesting, but just adding hooks for towels would be better. So I don't think I'm gonna find that here. Probably secondhand on Etsy or maybe even IKEA. So as I've mentioned, I really want to embrace yellow as it's her favorite color, and I think it would just brighten up the room. So I'm going to look at tons of different paint swatches. I really like this one in the middle here because it just feels kind of warm. And then I also want to find a blue that's going to match the exact tile on the flooring. So I can tie that in maybe on the window and accent it somewhere else. And then I'm also looking at like pops of orange to maybe replicate that pop of neon effect that she's looking for. I don't know if it'll come from paint because spray paint might be a better option considering it could be a little bit more neon. And then I'm going to take some of these colors and just compare it to the whites because I do want to paint all those walls white and I really want it to pop. So we're just going to take home a bunch of samples and see what they look like in the lighting in her space. So I just wanted to see if there was something interesting in here. I feel like this maybe is kind of craftsman-y. It's just something to make it look new again. Could always do something like super basic and simple like this. Too bad they don't have any copper ones. That would be really cool. I like the wood ones a lot. You can stain those or paint them. Something like this would also help because they're really yellowed. Only 77 cents. So Home Depot is always really good to start with, just maybe for paint samples and like paint cards so I can start to make a color palette. So I'll have to take this and the paint samples to the house and just see what they're looking like. And they didn't really have much in terms of like plate covers for like rockers or light switches or even like glass globe kind of replacements for her sconces. I was also looking for a light bulb with a gold bottom just because if I do a pendant light, I don't want you to look directly at the bulb. They didn't have that either, so I might check out Lowe's online. But I want to go check out some more like fun design related things at Target, IKEA. We'll see what else is out there. But yeah, so far I think I have a better idea of like colors that might be interesting. So let's go to the next spot. I really love Lowe's. It's just a little bit more expensive than Home Depot, but they have like way more options for home stuff, including decor, including lighting, and tons of really great paint colors. So I'm excited to take those swatches home and compare them. Kind of cool because it kind of looks like it's the style of the home. I don't really see anything though that I really like here. Gosh, it's really hard to find stuff like this. These would kind of be interesting for her sconces if we're not going to replace the entire sconce. This would be like the most interesting one for $8. It might be worth it to get 2 new ones of these for that furniture piece, considering one knob is like this. It's not exactly like this. The other one's wood. I was looking at the vanities and they're really expensive, and the thing they have now for like a vanity underneath the sink is really weird. And I'm wondering if I could use something like this to bring in some like cool shapes and textures to maybe create like a shield around it or something. I can't find it, but I know you can get like adhesive veneer, and I was thinking about getting a sheet of one of these and kind of like putting a wood veneer on it and maybe putting it around the vanity. I don't see it anywhere, and this is not that bendable, but it's an idea to work with. So after Lowe's, I headed over to IKEA and checked out their as-is section to see what was on sale. And then I snapped some photos of some lights and decor that I really like, just so that I can use it for my mood board and remember the pricing and what I was attracted to. So these are really cheap and they're very ugly as they are, but maybe if you spray painted them like a bright neon orange, they could be cool. Something like this could be cool in her like windowsill, or even like those like ZZ plants. One of those is cool too. But I like something like this. This is so fun. Oh wow, I actually like this. This is kind of more so what I was thinking. $40 though. This could be a trash can. So I really like this a lot, even just for myself, but then I thought this kind of mimics a sconce that I had on my Pinterest board, and I think this would be so much fun and bring so much like modern vibes into the bathroom, and I can just rewire this to actually be a wall sconce, and these are $45 each. So I really like these Casa Luna towels. They're really soft and I like the colors. If I could do like a varied mix of like something that's blue, kind of reddish orange maybe, and maybe a lighter color of this, that would be kind of nice. She definitely needs a new trash can too. And I honestly have this one in my office because it's super basic and easy, but it'd be nice to have something a little bit more designed. This is kind of cool because it looks like subway tiles, and they do have subway tiles in their shower. I think I maybe kind of like something like this for a trash can because it's a little warmer. I don't know. I mean, this is actually really nice, but she doesn't like dark wood. I like this. Or this, actually, having some like yellow glass, but this is like actually horrendous. This is so cool. I don't know if anyone actually uses bars of soap anymore, but something like this is actually totally the vibe. It's super modern and minimal, but the color is not right. I mean, this one is white, actually. If this was like that neon orange color, I think that would be actually perfect. Maybe if I spray painted this and then I covered it with like a glossy coat or something over time, it wouldn't chip and break. So this is possibly an option. Could do something like this, actually, instead of like yellow glass. But I think I want to stay with chrome because there's just so many chrome fixtures in there and it would cost too much to replace them all. Not really any luck on towels or bath mats, but accessories maybe. Hello, it is the next day. I was so exhausted from all of that shopping. I absolutely love shopping, but like I need to just process all of those thoughts and kind of take a mental tally of how much money I'm potentially going to be spending. You know, I really want to try to cut costs as much as possible. So I'll do a little like running tally of how much I'm thinking of spending so far, and then we'll see what I can do to like cut some corners. But I want to show you all of the paint swatches that I picked up yesterday because I did pick up a lot and they all look so different in the daylight here. So these are all the different paint swatches that I took home from Home Depot and Lowe's yesterday. And it's funny because when I was in the store, I thought I was clearly taking all whites, but this is easily a pink. This is easily like a beigey yellow. This is easily like a grayish green. And so I feel like, you know, it's important to put paint swatches in different lighting to see how they're showing up in your space, especially at different times of day. Again, I thought all of these were yellow and this is clearly brown. So I need to like sit here and kind of like focus on what would be good. And then I need to also check it in her bathroom as well. I'm kind of really liking this honeybees one and maybe this Rayo de Sol. And then over here, I just got a couple of bright orangey ones, but this one really looks red. This is really red. And then tons of different blues because I was looking at the picture of her flooring, but I could not tell if it's more of like a royal blue or if it's like a periwinkle, or even maybe it's kind of like this color, which is secure blue, which kind of feels like a more powdery blue. So I need to see what looks good on her flooring. I feel like I kind of like this Roman column white, but then I'm also just sometimes wonder what like a pure, you know, Santa's beard white would look like. I don't know if it would be too white. I think adding something too creamy or too beigey will just make the room feel darker or dirty. So I'll take a couple of these over there and see what it looks like in her bathroom. Okay, so we're back at my desk and I've dumped all the photos that I took yesterday and some of the ones that I really like for my Pinterest board into a website called Canva. And I love using them. They're super easy to use. And if you ever want some kind of like tutorial on how to use this website for doing like interior design or just room planning in general, I would love to do that. So just let me know in the comments. I know it's kind of like a niche thing, but I really am obsessed with using it. And I always try to tell people to use it if they can because it's really easy. But beyond that, this is everything I've come up with so far. I really am just trying to add in kind of idealistic photos so that it can feel a little bit aspirational, so I can keep looking for some really great deals and items out there. But I've also pasted in some pictures of some items that I saw yesterday, and I'm just going to add the total to each one of these right next to it, which is not usually something you do in a mood board, but I'm really focused on being under $500 with this one. So this was $20 for this cabinet on Facebook Marketplace, and then the paint is probably going to cost, honestly, like a little bit, maybe under $100 for rollers and 2 gallons, like one white, one yellow, any kind of like primer and stuff like that. So I'm just going to take in consideration $100 for paint. And then I actually picked up this light at the as is section because it was $14 cheaper than normal. And I thought, you know what, if it doesn't work for the archway, I can always resell it for the same amount that I bought it for and not have lost any money. So maybe I could even sell it for more and add an extra 10 or 15 bucks to my budget. But I really like this idea of having something a little bit more traditional and minimal. And I love bringing in like the chrome because there's already so much chrome in there. It's like, why fight it? Just kind of lean into it instead. I think these sconces I found at IKEA are similar, but I feel like they also kind of focus more on the back plate now that I'm looking at them than some of my Pinterest photos, which were like these ones that kind of just have like a more minimal backing and it's more about the globe than it is about the backing. So I'm gonna have to maybe focus on these a little bit and rethink them at some point. It's really hard to find affordable sconces, honestly. I didn't really have a lot of luck with finding a shower curtain, but I did add this one because I think it's just really pretty. And if I could figure out how to DIY it, it could be maybe like, you know, $30. So in terms of the pendant light, I actually added the one that I have in this room here. It came in a pack of 2, and so I could easily just use that one and do the same kind of aging method on it and put that in there and kind of hang it low. I just really have to put the cabinet in that archway still and see what it would look like. I don't know if we really want to like take up that empty, maybe it might be like 17 inches of space with a pendant light, or just have light in there that's a lot brighter. So I think this would be an idea, and having something like a little bit more organic like this lantern would be really nice and just kind of add more of a textured vibe in there. But yeah, this is feeling really good and I'm loving this direction so much, and I'm really excited about it, honestly, when I'm looking at it right now all together. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this room so far and maybe where I can be saving some costs here and there. I really appreciate talking with you guys in the comments. It's been so fun and helpful to get your advice and perspective. I just love it. And there's tons of new subscribers here. So if you are watching as well, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that so you can see the next episode of this series, as well as the final reveal of what this even ends up looking like in the end. I'm nervous, but I'm really excited for it. Other than that, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.